Oh, washing machine. I started the washing machine right before I started recording, so that's really convenient. I hope you can't hear it. Alright, so I've been wanting to do this video for about a month, and this is all about the eyeshadow palettes that I currently own. I used to be, I don't want to say addicted, I used to be really into buying eyeshadow palettes, whether I needed them or not, and I have it pared down so far from where it was, but I still have a lot. I just have a lot of favorites, and I recently did another clear out, and that's kind of what made me think of doing this, because I've kind of like rediscovered some old favorites and some that I hadn't even really used that much. I've really been enjoying, so I just kind of wanted to share. Some of these are not cruelty free, some of them are left over from before I switched over to cruelty free, but I'm trying to use them up because I do like them. I just wouldn't repurchase. So I think the only one that is not cruelty free would probably be a Bobbi Brown one, just off the top of my head. So let's get started. I'm going to go by brand, and I'm going to start with Urban Decay, because Urban Decay was the first eyeshadow palette that I ever bought. And the first eyeshadow palette I ever bought was the Naked palette. My mom got this for me for Christmas a couple years ago, and I literally needed a new one, and then they discontinued it, so I'm really glad to have this back. I pretty much only use like 3 to 5 shades, and then kind of like dabble in the rest of them, but it's like a go-to palette. Next up is the Naked Cherry. This is another gift from my mom, and this has a lot of like rose tone colors in it, which are really pretty. I haven't played around with this too much, but I feel like this is more of like a summer palette, so maybe I'll pull this out during the summer. Next, let's talk about Anastasia Beverly Hills. The first ABH palette I ever got was the Modern Renaissance, and I flipping love this palette. I love it so much. This would be a repurchase for me if I ever run out of eyeshadow. Which probably won't happen anytime soon. I also have the Soft Glam palette, and this I have not used as much. I really should have back in the fall, because these are very autumnal colors. But these could also work in the summertime, I think. It's like a golden kind of eyeshadow look, but yeah, I love that as well. Next up, I think I forgot one Urban Decay one that was under another palette, and that is the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics. This is their set of matte shades. This is another go-to. It just has like a bunch of really great shades to mix in with other palettes. This isn't like a standalone for me because they're all matte, and I like mixing up texture of like matte and like shimmery or kind of like satin. I think it gives an eye look a little bit more dimension when you do that. So this is definitely kind of like I would combine this with another eyeshadow palette or maybe some other eyeshadows. Let's see, what's next? Actually the rest of them are just like singles. Not singles, but I only have like one more, like multiple of one brand. That is the Makeup Revolution palettes that were from the Emily Noel 83, I think is what her handle is on YouTube. Her Needs palette was like a basic like face and eye palette. Love it. I'm meaning to do a review on these. I sadly haven't used them very much, so I need to pull them back out again. And then I also got the Once palette, which is, there are some more neutrals in this, but these are like extra shades to do, you know, fun looks with, and there are a lot of colorful shades that I have not even dipped my brush into yet. So I am going to work on doing a review of those. Next up, Bobbi Brown. This is the Crystal Drama palette, and I really haven't used this too much. It's kind of a mix of like peachy and purple shades. I don't really I don't remember when or why I got this palette, but I haven't used it very much, so I decided to keep it and see if maybe I'll use it up a little bit. As far as Tarte, I used to be a whole like Tarte eyeshadow fan, and the only palette I have left of theirs is the Tarteist Pro To Go palette. This was like a mini version of their Pro palette, and there's one color in here that I really like. I think it was Dominate. Let me flip this around. This just has like 6 shades, and they're like frosty and matte, and I don't think it's focusing. Is it focusing now? I think it is. Anyways, those are the colors, and the Dominate shade right there is like the reason I bought the palette, which is really silly, but I still like it, so it has stayed. Next, another small one. This is the Rodial Smoky Eye Sculpt Eyeshadow palette, and this has 6 really basic shades. This would be perfect for travel, and I have used the heck out of this. It's so grubby looking, but I really, really love that palette because it's so versatile. Next up, a Smashbox palette. I don't know if they're cruelty free, but this was a gift. This is the Cover Shot Golden Hour Eye Palette, and this has like some, again, like kind of autumnal shades in it. It's like golden colors and like an auburn, not auburn, like aubergine, like an eggplant color. Those are really pretty. Next up, my only Marc Jacobs palette. I love their eyeshadows. This is the Dreamer palette, Style Icon number 7. This is older, like this is pretty old. This is like a summery shade. This is another one where one color sold me on this palette, and it's this one right here. It's like a, I don't know how to describe it. It's like coral, but it almost looks like it could be duochrome, but it's not. I can't explain exactly how it looks. It's satin, but it has dimension to it, but it's not actually duochrome. It's just really pretty. I love that one. Next up is a palette that I have been using a lot lately, like every single day, and that is the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette. I don't think this is available anymore, but I have been using this to death. It smells so good. This has been my highlight, this has been all over my lid, and this has been my crease shade. So it's Butter Pecan, Rum Raisin, and Mousse. And I use Hot Fudge to smudge out along my lash line. That is like my go-to if I'm in a rush, going to work. That's what I wear. And then there are a ton of other shades that are really wearable. Of course, they have one crazy blue shade right here, which is Blueberry Swirl. It is gorgeous. I've used it as like an eyeliner, and that's about it. I can't, I don't really get into the really bright makeup looks, but I do like to use like something colorful as like an eyeliner every once in a while. Now I say that I don't like colorful eyeshadows, but then I come out with this. This was actually for Halloween last year. My daughter was a mermaid, and I did her makeup with fishnet stockings, and I basically just like had like glowy primer on her face. I mean, it was like glowing, and then I used fishnet stocking like on her skin and like dabbed like the powder over the primer. So it was like glistening, but you had like all these fun colors, and it looked really, really cool. And I have decided to keep this just in case we ever need it for Halloween or dance or anything like that. And that, my friends, is the end of my eyeshadow palette collection. I can't believe how fast that went by, because I used to have so many palettes. So many palettes. I mean, I used to have the entire Urban Decay Naked collection, tons of Tarte palette, like just so many. And I've really just pared it down to the ones that I really, really love and like to use, and plus a few that I still want to play with and see if they kind of fit into my everyday. So I hope you enjoyed this. If I can find any of these, sorry, I cannot talk. I am like coming down with something. I was going to film this video yesterday, and I just felt like I couldn't talk. And now I'm getting back to where I feel like I can't talk again. I was gonna, what was I saying? Oh, if I can find any of these palettes like online, I will link them down below. Otherwise, I'll just put the names in the description box because I know the semi-sweet chocolate bar palette is not available, but I don't know about the others. So I will link that down in the description box for you if you are interested, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. So I will talk to you later. Bye everyone.